There's a topic that's been on my mind so much, and that is this post-election energy, right? But what I speak about today can be really used at any time about any kind of like issues that are out there in the world. Because there are so many and there is so much division, right, between people, parties, which stance you are on any topic, whether a small thing or a big thing. So there's so much discord out there and there's so much anger, and I'll definitely be speaking about anger in another video because it is a really, really big issue and it has become so prevalent. And the reason why it's sort of popping out now with this topic is because when you are feeling like you so strongly believe in one issue, but things are not happening in that area, or there's this whole other side that is against it, and there's so much anger between the two views, or, whatever it is. So I've drawn this diagram here. Here's a person, okay, and they've got a question mark on their head, because they might believe what they believe, could be confused about certain things, or they might be feeling upset or disillusioned by, for example, election results or what's happening in the world in the different areas and spheres of things that they care about, right? Whatever that topic is. So you can apply this to anything about anything that you believe and think. And I'd really like to challenge each person, no matter what party you believe in or what your side is on in anything, to really try to cleanse and purify your thoughts in the best way you can. Because what the angels have shown me is, think of it as food coloring in water. So if I have a purple or blue or red dye and I put it in a glass of water, that will infiltrate through. So I have a glass of water that I'm just drinking. So if you imagine like that's nice, pure, clear water, but when that dye filters through, it really acts as a filter, right? Like an energy. And so no matter what the topic is you are thinking about, each thought or view, especially if it's quite strong, has a kind of dye or filter over it. So let's say I've got this blue energy happening here, and this is the filter about the thought, whether it is the person's filter or it's coming from other people, a particular person, or as a whole, a group of people, like a collective thought about something. All the big topics, whatever it is, okay? I don't want to get into the different ones, but all the big topics that are out there, okay? But for simplicity, let's just keep it at, for example, about parties, right? Since I did blue, I didn't plan to do it, but I'll do the red to represent the parties, okay? Oh, getting political, scary. Okay, no matter what, doesn't matter. This blue and red can, as I said, represent anything. Let's say you're a blue person and that's your thing. What's coming through is to keep in mind that no matter how strong you believe in that thing, and you might be 100% true, or you might be 1% true, as in what you believe, even if it just feels so true to you, it might actually only have a 1% truth in it, okay? And just be open to that, right? And it doesn't matter. We're not hooking onto things here. This is just for discussion to sort of get your head around things. And same again for the red, okay? Whatever you believe, you might believe 100% that's the way and that's the thing. And it could be 100% true, or it could be 1% true, or anything in between. So the idea here is that in each area, there's infiltration, whether it's other people's energy, other people's thoughts, even just a whole band, collective thought, or it can be deliberate or accidental. Whatever it is, it's a pollutant. It's another thing coming into it. So let's use the purple for that. Right, and that's coming through and it's mixing in with it. So now, even if the person was 100% on that thing, the blue or the red, right, there's an infiltration there on some level, whatever it is. And so what the person is receiving is a cloudy version of that thing. And so what might be happening is, let's say there is some direct, deliberate interference in the thing. So let's say this person really believes in a thing that's connected to their area. And they are so like, no, this is the one way, this is the only way. And imagine if, though, even though in that blue area, all the people that are, let's say, in control of that thing or have some kind of part in that thing, such as they organize an area of that thing, imagine if there were some naughty people there or some infiltrating energy, or maybe they've got something wrong in their mind, whether they're good-hearted or not. And that energy is coming in. So let's, for the sake of simplicity, say it's something nefarious. Someone's like, I'm going to infiltrate this system, right? So this person, very innocently, they're believing that thing because for good reasons, okay? Even if it's, whether it's the right way or the wrong way, to that person, and that person is an individual, they're not a bad person, they're a good person, they believe this thing, and they've got their reasons for believing that thing. But the infiltration, let's make it the orange, is coming through, and it is infiltrating that energy, that thing, that whole subject area. And they, whether or not they realize, let's say they don't realize it, but that orange energy is coming in and affecting the mind. And it is imprinting upon them. Let's just say that a negative person has come in and wants to make that person believe a certain thing. A person who's like, no, I'm going to take over this whole subject area, right? Let's just say it's gun laws, okay? So this person is, oh, I really don't believe in guns, okay? And for their innocent reasons, that's what they believe because, you know, of all the hurt of people and so on. But let's just say someone has come in and say, yeah, I'm going to really be anti-gun and I'm going to be this hero about anti-guns. And then, and by the way, I'm not referring to anybody or anything. I'm just pulling this out as an example generically. That person, though, has an ulterior motive. Unfortunately, that other person or that group of people want to take advantage of it for their own nefarious purposes, for whatever reason, okay? And this person doesn't realize, and they are being mind controlled or they're being manipulated by that personal group of people, and they're believing that they're heroes and they're even donating money to that person or whatever it is. And unfortunately, that group has an ulterior motive and are actually using this person. There are a lot of things like that on whatever side, okay? So the same can apply here, blah, 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 right? It could be anywhere, okay? We're not picking any sides or any things. We're just merely demonstrating what can happen. And people generally, you know, if you're aware, you kind of know these things. But it's important to now focus on in this sort of post-election atmosphere, which has this kind of weird energy to it, as people are assimilating. There's a group of people that are, you know, disappointed and sad and anxious, and all these things are coming up. There's another group of people that are feeling other things, and there's everything in between, and so on. And so at this point, think of it as all these colors are dyes and they're filters. And the best thing you can do for yourself and for humanity and the world, no matter where you stand on in anything, is to focus on releasing and removing those dyes, that influence, those streams of filters over you, because each one is a filter over you, clogging your mind, making you more unsure, more confused, more question marky, whether you know it or not, and releasing all of that and gaining your own personal insight and connection to God's source. And allowing God's source to come down and cleanse you, to purify you, so that you are not only more clear in yourself, energetically, mentally, emotionally, all those things, but also, and clear mind, but also what you're doing is you are cleansing away all the thought patterns, and you are consciously on a journey of understanding why it is you deeply believe in that thing, because each person deeply or on whatever level believes in that thing. And the message in it is they've got a reason for it. So let's say, unfortunately, we have to go to the red and blue, but let's say there's a red and a blue person and they really believe their thing, they really believe their thing. And they butt heads because that seems to be what's been happening. I mentioned the anger and so on. And this person says something and it angers this person, and vice versa. And so picture it rather as when you have situations like this and you're dealing, because we've all got them, and we've got people where this is happening for whatever topic, whatever thing. Let's just change the colors so we don't trigger anyone. Okay, let's make it purple and orange. And this person believes this thing which really annoys me, because why don't they see it my way? Because my way is the way and I know it's truth. Okay, and the other person's going, I can't believe they think that, they're such an idiot, blah blah blah. Instead of that, picture it this way: this person believes their things. Think, okay, I wonder why they believe their things. Okay, get a bit curious or not, it doesn't matter. You don't have to go deep into it. You can get as deep or not into it as possible. The point is to think they've got a reason for their thoughts, because back is going to go back and back and back in their lifespan. Let's say that's their timeline, right? And there'll be whatever it is, whether it's recent or all the way from childhood. Let's call this the childhood area, and this is the rest of their adulthood till now, right? And they've got their thing. Maybe like, in the last few months, something has happened. That's why they believe that way, or from childhood. And so they've got their reasons. So let's say it's the gun issue, since I mentioned it prior. Let's say they really don't believe in guns because in their childhood, their best friend was shot. Okay, of course, that's a very extreme version, right? But okay, so that's why they, with their big, beautiful heart, believe that, and they don't want guns, and they can't believe anyone would ever think of it any other way, right? And it's the same for any issue, vegetarianism, even, like anything, right? If this person is like, oh, right, so whether they know it or not, let's say they don't know, they can just think, okay, they've got some reasons for it. That's why they feel that, and just connect with that person's heart. They've got their reasons for it. Or if they know the story, oh, okay, yeah, their best friend died. That's really sad. I understand why they feel that way. See the difference? So let's just make it another thing. Let's say this person really believes in female equality in the workforce, and they're super feminist. Okay, and this person is maybe feeling a different way. Okay, they've got their reasons to feel that way. This person's got their reasons. Let's say this person has their reasons because in the past they always had to fight for their right to speak, and they were never heard. And this person's dad did not listen to them or give them the space to be able to express their opinions. Their mum said, you have to be in the kitchen all your life. And they were like fought against it, like, no, women's revolution, and I can do anything and I'm going to be everything. And then this person here maybe has a different story, different upbringing, where even at sometimes they maybe felt like feministy, or like, yes, of course, everyone should be equal and all of that. But my mum always worked and was never at home, and I really felt like I missed out on having a mum at home and feeling that sort of that family security. And my dad was working all the time, and everyone was always out, and I was alone. And that's why I feel this way. I strongly believe so now that when I raise my own children, I want to be home for them, and I'm happy to cook dinner for my husband and have a family sense of unity, and that's what I believe. Okay, see how we're coming from two different worlds, or whatever thought streams. And let's say they're butting heads, whether it is silent, because people have these kind of silent warfares or feelings and thoughts about a person, or they're verbally going for it. And so this person is like, I can't believe you voted so-and-so because like all women should be equal and blah, blah, blah. And this person is like, they're saying whatever the opposite. And so if this person would just understand, I understand that this person felt so alone in their childhood, like no one was ever at home, and this strongly affected them, and they were energy sensitive, and as they progressed through life, they really hid themselves and they didn't become their true shining light. And then if this person would understand, oh, this person came from a really difficult background, I understand that their dad really like smothered them and it affected their throat chakra and they couldn't express themselves, and now they're like extra vocal because, of that past, and they wanted to break free. On either side, there could be toxicity, or there could be, and there will be, for that issue or any other issue, filters over them. This person's coming from all of that as a filter, and this person's got their filter. And so if we break free from the idea of dogma and then more move into the idea of they've got their reasons for it in their history, and they are either actively working on it in their own way, or they've got no idea and they're just this bombardment of energy and reaction. Right. Either way. So the message in it all is to approach it in that way, whether you go deeply or not into it, it doesn't matter. Or have a discussion, like, oh, that's interesting, like, tell me about how you got to that thought, how has your past influenced how you think? But if you can say it in a kind, loving, gentle way where it's personable, then you can have those soul conversations. But if you feel like you can't or you don't want to, you can approach it that way too. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's you can take the edge off things, because that's one of the words that the angels gave me, is the edge. There's an edge to the energy that's all around, and there's an edge to each person, and certain subject matters can have an edge, and that edge has a charge, and that charge is what you're reacting to. It's like an electrical circuit, and you go straight into that electrical reaction and get angry, or whatever reaction, anxiety, blah, blah, blah. Even profound, like, how dare they? How could they? See how all that is just drama, it is just charge, it is actually just not even truth. What the truth is this soul and this soul's journey in their past, okay, from the childhood and the dad all the way to now. That's what is the truth. And if each person is to work on their own truth, that's how you can bring about the harmony. So you work on your truth and go back to why you believe certain things, and you might find that you challenge yourself and you realize, you know what, I have been infiltrated a little bit by my thoughts, or I see where those thoughts come from. So my strong belief about this comes from, and then you go back in the timeline and you work it out. Again, you can go as deeply or not as you want. And so that will help put everything into perspective. I hope that helps you and gives you lots of food for thought. Let me know your thoughts and how you go with this. And you will find that this is the way to approach things, and to give you the peace of mind. And when you bring everything back to you and you'll focus on you rather than others and to God's source, that is when everything can move into alignment and everything will fall into place for yourself, others, and Earth as a whole. Even though it might take some while.